Here is the breaking news. Yes, an attorney for Harvey Weinstein at his Los Angeles rape and sexual assault trial told juries Thursday that prosecutors' case relies entirely on asking them to trust women whose testimony showed they were untrustworthy. Take me my word for it. 5 words that sum up the entirety of the prosecution case, Jackson's and jurors in his closing argument. The 70-year-old former movie magnate is charged with raping and sexually assaulting 2 women and committing sexual battery against 2 others. Argued that 2 of the women were internally lying about their encounters while the others 2 took part in sexual sex for the sake of career advancement that was 100% consensual. But after the #MeToo explosion around Weinstein with stories in the New York Times and the New Yorker, which Jackson called a dogpile on his client, the woman became grateful. Regret is not rape, Jackson told juries several times. Weinstein is already serving a 23-year sentence for conviction in New York for rape and sexual assault against 2 women. Prosecutors in Los Angeles completed their closing argument early Thursday after giving most of it Wednesday and urged juries to complete Weinstein's takedown by convicting him in California. It is time for the defendant's reign of terror to end, Deputy District Attorney Marlin Martinez said it is time for the kingmaker to be brought to justice. In his closings, Weinstein's attorney urged to look past the emotion of the testimony the 4 women gave and focus on the factual evidence. Believe us, believe, because we are mad. Believe us, because we cried, Jackson said jurors were obeying us to do. While fire does not make fact and tears do not make truth, he was especially adamant about the tearful and dramatic testimony of Jennifer Civil Newsom, a documentary filmmaker and the wife of California Governor Gavin Newsom, who said Weinstein raped her in a Beverly Hills hotel room number 22 and 2005. It was a theatrical, overly dramatized performance, he said. What you saw was an act. Sybil Newsom was one of the women who engaged in transactional sex. Jackson urged she knows it and she had it. He said the testimony was also dishonest as when Sybil Newsom testified that she bumped into Weinstein occasionally after the assault, including an encounter at the 2007 film festival, which left her triggered. Jackson pointed to an email where Sybil Newsom had actually sought out the meetup with Weinstein. Jackson told to the juries Weinstein was never even in the hotel room with the other woman he is charged with raping. An Italian model who is in court went by Jane Doe 1. She testified that he attacked her after showing up uninvited to her hotel room during a Los Angeles Film Festival in 2013. Jane Doe 1 is lying period, Jackson said, pointing to the absence of evidence putting Weinstein at the scene. Not a single witness can corroborate that Harvey Weinstein ever walked through the door. She showed photos of Jane Doe 1 smiling as he interacted with director Quentin Tarantino on the following night of the festival, with Weinstein sitting just a few feet away. This is not consistent with her having suffered the violence she suffered just hours before, the lawyer said. Earlier on the night those pictures were taken, according to the allegation, Weinstein trapped model Lauren Young in a hotel bathroom, groped her and masturbated in front of her during what was supposed to be meeting about a script she had written. Behind the report for Shakti TV.